What's up, YouTube? I really don't know what I'm going to do for this video. This, but I do know that having this on my to-do list, because I wanted to do one every weekend and I missed it, and now it's Tuesday. I know that having it on my to-do list made me get out of bed at the crack of 2 p.m. Sometimes life can be tough, and hopefully this is what will make me happy, and it's something I want to do. I wish I had some cool slime project or something to do, but I just grabbed some random things, I think. So we'll just call it a vlog. So as far as injury goes, I now have a wheelchair. My friends all came together and bought me a wheelchair. It was really nice. They bought it in 3 hours. I put the thing on Facebook, and I've only got like 28 friends on Facebook, so it was pretty impressive that they all got together and got me a wheelchair. I love it. It's wonderful. It stays in the back of my car, and then anytime where I'm worried that I'm gonna have to stand for any period of time, I take it out and I take it with me. Um, I always kind of feel like a fraud sometimes though, because if somebody's stuck in a wheelchair and can't get out, and they come into a problem like a stair, then they're stuck there and like somebody has to help them or they have to find another way in, and it's a big deal. But I just stand up and then lift my wheelchair over the stair, because the movement is not a problem. I have control of all my limbs, but the standing puts me in too much pain to stand. So I feel like any passerbys probably think I'm a weirdo or somehow faking it or something. So it's a little bit concerning, but it is coming up on our Disney cruise though. We're going to go on another Disney cruise in the summer, and I'm calling them to see if I can upgrade to a wheelchair accessible room. But it turns out they've already upgraded us to like the best kind of room there is, a veranda with like this giant balcony to it. So to have wheelchair accessible stuff, I'd have to take a downgrade. And like I said, I can get up out of the wheelchair. So we're just going to stick with the really nice room. And if a wheelchair accessible really nice room opens up, then maybe we'll switch. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm just going to be in the really nice room. It was nice of them to upgrade us. They just kind of did it on their own. We didn't ask them or anything. I don't even remember which countries we're going to this time. It kind of blurs together once you start cruising. All of the countries I've been to cruising kind of are just in a blob over here, and then the ones where I didn't cruise to it, like Mexico and Japan, they're off on their own separate memories. But the cruise ones, they kind of blur together. It's not the best if you want to take in a culture, like, hey, now we know all about Haitian culture. It's not going to happen on a cruise. You're off for like 4 hours or something. You could take a tour, and really that's becoming a great idea for me, is the tours as opposed to renting a motorcycle and driving around. We did that in Cozumel, I think, and saw some amazing stuff. But it's a lot better to get the feedback of the natives there, who tell you exactly what is known and not known about that country. On that, I actually do have one prop. See, I had this travel list thing. Like, I think it's called travel listography. I actually gave it to my friend Katie because I thought I was going to like it so much. And it was okay in the beginning, but it turned out it was like 300 pages, and then it would start to repeat things like best camping spots that you've been to and best camping spots you hope to visit. But then later it would be like best wilderness spots you've been to and best wilderness spots you hope to visit. So there was a lot of overlap, and you ended up writing the same thing a few times. But what I have done is I have condensed it down to the answers of things that I haven't done that I want to do. I want to go over that real quick. And in travel news on that, there's a few in America and there's a few in England. and not really in the rest of the world. I think we're done with Asia. Our trip to Japan was too much. Too much. It was too unexpected. It was too much culture shock. Kiri did not like being that condensed with people, and she didn't like the train, and that was the main way to get around. So we're not doing Asia anymore. It's just too crowded. And if we did Africa, we'd still have to do, and this goes for South America too. We'd have to do the 5-star luxury things because Kiri's used to the 5-star luxury things. But then you wouldn't be getting the cultural things, which is what I go for. So there, it really just kind of knocks itself off. So it's Europe and North America, I think, in the future for us. Um, in Europe, I'd like to visit Ireland, Scotland, England, France, and Italy. So really the UK and all the different places in the UK. There's actually a cruise that goes around the UK, stopping all around, which is really cool to me. Um, there's not even one particular thing I want to see. I just want to meet the people. I want to talk to people from Ireland and Scotland and the UK and Wales and everything. France and Italy is purely for food. That's really the majority of the reason I choose things is for food. Um, but then I realize if you're going to spend $3,000 on a vacation to a country for food, couldn't you spend $3,000 on food where you are? And that's where I'm really at right now. Is if somebody gave me $3,000, aside from all the responsible stuff that I could do, it'd be: do I go to France to eat cheese and bread, or do I spend $3,000 on cheese and bread here, which is important from France? And I think that's the way to go. In America, I'd like to go to Las Vegas again. I've been to Las Vegas twice. Both times have been a little family friendly, and they've been wonderful. And I had press credentials, and I did all sorts of fun stuff. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum gave me behind the scenes tour, and I went up to their offices and everything. And the Heart Attack Grill is one of the top restaurants that I've ever been to, the most unhealthy restaurant in America, with butterfat milkshakes and fries fried in lard. They were amazing, outstanding. I would eat there again in a second. I think I ate 12,000 calories in one meal when I was there, and that was a hamburger, fries, and a milkshake. The milkshake actually has a pat of butter that they put on top, which was weird, but you kind of just go with it. And it's like the nurses, the waitresses are all nurses, and you have to wear a hospital gown there, and people do have heart attacks there. And then the owners actually, like, they die from heart attacks, and it's very, very committed to it. Committed to the theme of death and heart attacks. If you weigh over 350 pounds, I think you get a meal for free. So I do want to go back to Las Vegas, but I want to do things like I want to see the strip shows. I want to see the more rowdy, naughty side of Las Vegas. So far, it's been the family-friendly side that everybody goes to and takes their kids along with, because that's what Kiri likes, that's what Hunter likes. It's fine, and it's a wonderful time. But I have thought that I was getting Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I got National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation, which is also great. But there is stuff there that I haven't seen. Um, there are two more cities I want to try, which is Portland, Oregon. And I've heard Portland is not as weird as it used to be, and that's kind of how everybody goes when they argue authenticity of something. Oh, it's not like it used to be. It used to be so much better. And they say it's not as weird as it used to be. I'm betting you're still plenty of weird there. Same goes for Austin, Texas. I think I just want to go and I want to check out how different Austin is from the rest of Texas, because I've been to the rest of Texas, not Austin. And it's hard to believe that something weird and liberal like could survive in Texas. Weird thing about San Antonio. if I could tell a story about San Antonio and how they built San Antonio. San Antonio is built in a circle around the Alamo. So you have the Alamo in the center, and then the roads are kind of circular around it, kind of like in France with the Arc de Triomphe. But instead of being a triumph, it's a loss. And it seems really strange to me to build a whole city around one of the most famous losses of American history. I don't know. Seems a little odd to me. Wouldn't you be proud of the stuff that you should be proud of? Then there's other stuff that I want to do that's not really tied to a city. Well, I mean, kind of. It locates in cities. I want to go to the Dali Museum. The Dali Museum is somewhere in North Florida, and I'm not really a super fan. Like, I can't even remember his name. Salvador Dali. I'm not really a big Salvador Dali fan, but I do like surrealism. I like Dadaism. I like art in that vein. So I think it would be nice to go. And I'm running out of options. I'm running out of places left to go that I haven't been. Some people make a bucket list and then they work on it for their whole lives. And then I made a bucket list and I was done by 29. And I started stealing other people's bucket lists. And I started going online looking for bucket lists and then doing those things. And, they say follow your dreams. And I got my dreams, and then I started taking other people's dreams. Speaking of other people's dreams, be Infield at NASCAR. I know. That's not for me. It's not my people. They're good people. Nothing against NASCAR fans. But they don't mesh with me. They're not going to speak Spanish with me. But I really love tailgating. And in my imagination, the infield of a NASCAR race is going to be a lot of tailgating. And it's going to be like top tier tailgating. So the very, very best. And the uniqueness of being isolated on display so that the whole world sees you, the crowd sees you. You're on display, you're isolated, you're trapped, and you're surrounded by a moat of cars going 185, 190 miles an hour. Which, by the way, I've driven one of those cars. I'm comfortable at 120. Going at 185, I felt like, it's a weird feeling you don't get with NASCAR until you're actually in the car. And that's realizing that you're going so fast that on the turns, the friction in this direction is all that's keeping you on the road. Okay? So here's the road, you're coming up, and now it's friction forward and back. But once you turn, it's the friction going this way that's stopping you from sliding out into the wall. And just a little bit of sand or a little bit of oil or a little bit of rain or anything, and you can just slide right off. And the tires aren't made to deal with all terrain. They're made to deal with a perfect track. So knowing that any bit on there could just throw you off and kill you. Well, it was a huge rush. I'll tell you that. It's not something I'm going to do again, but I'm glad that I did do it. 120, you start to get that feeling, and I'm happy there. I don't need to go any faster than 120. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere that fast. But it was nice to take it up to 185 and see what that felt like. But I want to try the infield fan experience. Peruvian cuy. So I don't know how I'm going to get Peruvian cuy. I've been to Peruvian restaurants, and I've asked them, and they said, no way, you're not getting cuy in America. Cuy is guinea pig. And in Peru, they cook guinea pig, and they farm guinea pig. And I think that sounds pretty interesting, and I think I'd like to try guinea pig. And it's kind of like eating the live octopus, like I want to eat a live octopus too, where it's it's so difficult to find someone in America doing it. I start to question if I'd be better off just going to the pet store and buying them. But then I have to wonder if there's antibiotics and things injected into them as pets that are not meant to be eaten because you wouldn't eat your pets. But there's no good way to ask. And I've tried. And not only do they not know, but they're horrified at you when you tell them that you would like to buy this pet and eat it. So there's no answers there, and there's just disgusted looks. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'll eat what I want. For a long time, we thought we were going to amputate this arm, and we had plans to eat it. And because we wrestled around with the ethics of cannibalism if it's your own arm. Apparently, they will just give you the part of your body if you ask. I had this whole thing planned saying I'm Jewish, I need to be buried with my full body, because that is a Jewish thing. I don't know if the tattoos would have given me away that I'm not Orthodox. But we had a plan to cook and eat this, and then, as it turns out, I took very good care of it, and it didn't need to come off. So the last thing on here is I've got 3 types of hotels I want to stay in. Well, not hotels. 3 places I want to sleep. I say that because there's a cave system on here. And really what that is my mom took Hunter to go camp in a cave system. I know very little about it. I bet it's not as cool as I'm picturing it, but I still want to do it. I kind of like cold, dank places for sleeping. So I think that'd be fun to sleep inside a cave. I'll ask her. Maybe she wants to take me. She says she wants to take the scouts too. But for a different, easier camping scout. A capsule hotel. I go back and forth on the capsule hotel. If you don't know what it is, it's a Japanese invention. It's just a pod, like a coffin-sized room, that you slide into and go to sleep. Sometimes it has a little TV in it. And then there's some showers and stuff outside of the pods that you can get cleaned up. And it's meant for people to just take a quick nap, or if they're working really hard and it doesn't make sense for them to go home just to go in the next morning, they can use the capsule hotels. And I always thought it was cool. And I still kind of want to do it. But I've also built my own capsule hotels. I built my own little coffin things to sleep in. And it was just okay. And I'm not sure if it'll really elevate from okay to neat if I get a professional one done. And I don't know. So I'm kind of iffy on that one. The last one is an underwater hotel, which we happen to live in Florida, which is close to the underwater hotels that exist. They're only like 15 feet underwater, but I imagine the smell must be a lot like seawater. My mom says it is not, but you can look out the windows and see all the fish and stuff, and Hunter's really interested in the idea of doing that. And I really like the idea that you order pizza to your underwater hotel. I think it's just a tube going up to the surface, so it's not like they're really swimming down with the pizza for you. But that's kind of my wish list right now. Always